I had one little, two little, three little Indian. Grandma's for society, keep killing them, telling me much, I had one little, two little, three little Indian. Grandma's for society, keep killing them, telling me.
Andy.
This license says you're Indian.
Maybe I ought to eat your cornbread.
Shit. Oh, motherfucker, you can't have my cornbread. That's for damn sure. Because if you try to take my cornbread, part 2 of my killing spree gonna begin up in here on your ass right now. If you think about my cornbread, they get the taste out your mouth. That's for damn sure. Now, fuck him. Fuck that. Because I'm from New York City, goddammit. Nobody take no cornbread from me. And that go for you and any other you motherfucking farmers want to try some shit.
Living in America. There's nothing wrong. This bitch is my mama. And yours too. Except I know it's mine.
I had one little, two little, three little Indian. Grandma's for society, keep killing them, telling me much, I had one little, two little, three little Indian. Grandma's for society, keep killing them, telling me much, House nigga, real nigga, fake nigga, feel nigga. My skin ain't black, what the deal, nigga? Salute on my real shit, it's Aborigines, owners of the land and every goddamn tree and every goddamn sea. Invaders ever cross, step foot on the land and you can step the fuck off. Brave, you gon' make us swing the sacred tomahawk. Fucking around with us with that black conscious talk. Fake pics of slave ships, that's the reference. If we African, look, you gon' need more evidence. I'm American, Aboriginal, Indigenous, Chibokity is name test. That shit is rhetoric, stay woke. Aboriginal, get out. Your civil rights acts, all you can eat, big out. The Stockholm Syndrome, make skits out. Phoenix Moon got the antidote, get that shit out. Meanwhile, I'm rapping about my birthright, fuck a freestyle. Teach each man, each woman, each child. Black race is really Indians indeed now. Man, they indeed now. Hollywood, Title 18, G goes, pilgrims get big gold, with Phoenix and Beast Mode, bringing my peoples out of the sleep mode. We ain't black, colors, Africans, or Negroes. I had one little, two little, three little Indian. Grandma's for society, keep killing them, telling them.
Osio, Halato, Sego, what's happening, beautiful ones? It's a beautiful day in Indian country. Everything is healthy. How y'all doing? I got the bomb squad on the panel tonight. And this is part 2, Misclassification of Indians and Negroes. We spinning the block. What kind of Indian is you? What kind of Negro is you? Right? Because there's different types of Indians, different types of Negroes. And we definitely going to shoot that out real quick. Let me give a shout out to the beautiful people on the panel. We got Dr. Fontaine, we got Sukla, and we got the beloved Ishmael Bey. How y'all doing tonight? What's happening?
Halito, Hashisquela, I love my people.
OCO, Alato family. How we doing, cousin? Good to see y'all. Good to see everybody.
Peace, y'all. Kamo Ngapo from Lenape, Hocking, and Okie-Hocking territory. Hope everybody's doing well.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. It's a beautiful day. So I wanted to spin the block. First of all, let's start with the conversation about people still having a problem identifying with people identifying exactly as who they are, right? You understand that we still have some sort of disconnect where Black folks act like the Indians don't exist. I think it's a little strange. Now, here it is, the Indian knows that for the most part, the people that don't know their genealogy that may be Indian, we know that there's a population of those people out there. But we also know that there are other people that are not Indian, and they kind of trying to ride the Black American train when they don't have the proof of how American they are. whether they black, white, Indian, Puerto Rican, or Haitian. So at this point, we're going forward. People, well, first of all, people completely disregarding the O&B, right? As if that's not a thing. And they, kind of doing their own thing when the O&B is very specific and has been very explicit in the details going forward for the 2030 census that is approaching in 4 years, right? I'm not really understanding where the disconnect is. So now people want all of these extravagant things. They want reparations. They want all of this. But at the end of the day, that's fine. But what kind of land situation they got going on? What comes first, the chicken or the egg? We got this land situation going on. The Indians do. The Indians got this land situation that can't nobody remove us from. Whether it was taken, whether it was squatters on it to this day, we still have the opportunity to go and get our shit back. So these other folks that are not attaching themselves to the land, they attaching themselves to the situation, but they're definitely going to have to explain how long they've been here. And still in hindsight, in terms of reparations, if you got here via the trans-African slave trade from 2008, they have been talking about giving reparations. So I want to know who's really about that life when they say they about that life. If it's going to be reparations, you expecting a check from the United States, and you going to get your check from the Africans. If niggas was smart, the Africans said it in 2008, 10, 11, 12, 14, 17, 19, and the motherfuckers was just here in Oklahoma about 2-3 years ago.
2022.
Right? So now that they have established what it was that they did, and these are where you're gonna tie back to. You would have to tie back to these people according to the way they self-determine their race. And they're self-determining their race based off of how they feel and what they was told. They ain't got enough census records to go back. And chances are, if you was black the whole way through, you have not been a victim of misclassification. You haven't been a victim of reclassification. That excludes you. It excludes you, and that's okay. So if your shoe ain't untied, don't trip. A lot of it's not for you. But for the people that know what they folks was doing in 1605, 1710, 1688, 1822, outside of the census, decennial census years, the misclassification conversation is never going to go away. And we got to misclassification after being reclassified. And it didn't start where people think it started. And when and we were talking about this earlier before we started the live about Walter Plecker. Walter Plecker had a starting point for his trolling. It wasn't the 1600s. It wasn't the 1700s. He trolled families based off of 1808. And what's pivotal about 1808 is this is where African imported slavery is punishable by death. It was illegal and unlawful since the 1700s. But now, since the United States was incorporated, they said it's going to be punishable by death. Did it happen still? Here and there? Sure. But was it a thing that made these niggas math all crazy? Absolutely the fuck not. And then we doing the misclassification of Indians and Negroes for a reason, because when we're going to talk about who these Africans were, and I'm sure people are going to be upset about that too, but we're going to walk it down a little bit and have some conversations, right? Even down to the DNA. Not only did, as we studied our grandparents, not only did we know who our families are, we know who everybody else's is too. So when they say weirdo stuff, well, what kind of amalgamation are you talking about? Wait a minute. You just said you did your genealogy. And if you ask a question like that, honey, we know you didn't do it. You would know. Don't start asking dumbass questions like, what tribes do white people come from? Nigga, they come from tribes. Sometimes their name is the tribe. MacArthur, McCarthy, McDougal. Telling you who they are. O'Neill.
Maybe
the
they need to look
grandson of
up.
Neil.
Maybe they need to look up the historical words, Germanic tribes.
Sure.
So
And
Germanic tribes gives you that answer.
And Germanic tribes existed before Germany, huh, cuz?
Yes, indeed. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Sure did. Prussia ain't end until what? 1918?
Yeah, that's where Germany comes from. It comes from the Germanic tribes. Like it was a branch. It was one of the tribes. Yeah.
And in those tribes, they had sub tribes, or would you say clans, maybe?
Yeah.
Within these, right? And they made up different clans. And in those Germanic groups, you have French, you have Spanish, right? Because Latin pertains to the Americas. And if Latin pertains to the Americas, I'm not so sure about the ancient Greek, ancient Roman. Because they kind of end up being almost one and the same, especially when it comes down to the fact that we know that Americans absolutely was all over this globe. And how can we tell? Because we gave others the cornerstone. And when I say we gave others the cornerstone, this is the mixing of the bloodlines. There was definitely mixing of bloodlines long before Columbus, long before Sir Walter Raleigh. We're going to talk about some of these Maroons too, because the Maroons would be a type of Negro. Maroons are a type of Negro. Let's talk about what kind of Negroes they are. Then there's also the Blasford. The Blasford is the white Negro. We're going to talk about Negroes. Cousin, can we get that DNA drop you had? I want to start with the DNA. Let's just get that out the way first, because I know here they come. Somebody gonna come in to take a DNA test. The DNA.
The DNA Africans. The DNA Africans.
Come on.
It's posted on the back chat.
Groups, the haplo group.
It's posted on the back chat.
Got it. Thank you. Hold on 1 second.
Mm-hmm. And it'll be good to add context if you get a chance to play the videos on there too. They're very short videos, but
absolutely. Okay. African lineage, DNA to America, already tried for reparations cases, thrown out in 2002 as not valid enough. When the topic of lineage is brought up, the common tactic is brought up about African DNA. What's not mentioned is that at all is African DNA to the Americas has already been discarded as insufficient. In 2002, descendants of African slaves filed a historic class action lawsuit in U.S. federal court demanding reparations from financial, railroad, tobacco, insurance, and textile companies that had benefited from their predecessors. Show this video here. Go on.
And so in the reparations case, part of the question, and the question that remains, is that, who are the people to whom reparations might be owed if such a case could be tried? So I follow in the book a 2002 class action suit for slavery reparations that winds in and out of the courts and is currently stalled. And in this case, an early dismissal, a 2004 dismissal of the case, the court says, you're merely alleging that you have a genealogical relationship to formerly enslaved people. And so the very smart plaintiffs in that case go to a company called African Ancestry, which had just started a year before. So we're now very used to genetic ancestry testing. There's lots of television shows, it's in the press and the media a lot. But at this time, the industry had only been a part of, in the United States for less than 2 years.
And then you can play part 2 to that to continue it.
We're using a very cutting edge technology in a new way. We're early adopters of it. So they go and get mitochondrial and patrilineal genetic ancestry testing. So the Y chromosome, patrilineage, Y chromosome, matrilineage testing, and they submit that as evidence in the civil court case.
What happens?
What happened? So I haven't gotten a check. Have you? I haven't received my check yet, Hari. So it's they're not successful, but it's very interesting because the court has to consider. In some cases, I think some could argue for the very first time what genetic ancestry testing means, what it can tell us, what it can't tell us. So in the end, it wasn't specific enough. The court really wanted to be able to say, not just you have genetic inheritance that is shared with people in contemporary Nigeria, but like be able to trace to your great-great-great-grandfather and say that this great-great-great-grandfather was transported on a train that was owned by CSX or that was insured by Aetna and the like. So.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, so I don't understand what they're arguing about. This is exactly the arguments that they're trying to come up with today, right? They're quick to run and say, well, what's your DNA say? Well, they already went to Rick Kittles. That's y'all superstar, right? They went to Rick Kittles in court to prove that they were African, and the case was already thrown out in 2002. So what are y'all talking about? There's nothing else to talk about on that topic. They went to the specific expert that y'all keep lifting up, and it was already thrown out. Why? Because you didn't have the specific records. You didn't have the specific lineage of that company did this to my direct ancestor, and that's what I'm suing you for. So ultimately, it goes right back to the records. That's the only thing that matters in court. DNA has already been thrown out.
DNA has already been thrown out. It's interesting because we've been showing sources for years. Now this makes it very plain, but we've also showed sources for years indicating that DNA, and that's before we knew anything about this study, that this court case, should I say, where they actually went forward with it, right? But the fact is we've already been stressing. Ancestry said that it was for entertainment purposes only. They gave their disclaimers as to what exactly it was for. And yet people still have not been able to connect to any cousins, any family, anybody over beyond the sea somewhere.
Correct.
But they find a cousin in Detroit. They'll find a cousin in Nutbush, Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
A living cousin that's related to a tangible ancestor that you can trace, go visit their grave, dig up, what have you. So I hope they, know that the DNA is not going to do nothing. It's not, that's not what it's for. That's not what it's going to be used for in any court of law, right? So stop trying to weaponize it as if it's something that we need to do in order to be who we are.
Right.
You find all these excuses.
And let's be perfectly clear. When this case was brought in the case, it was being led by Dr. Charles Ogletree, one of the foremost experts of African American history, who was a professor at Harvard at that particular time. And
Yes,
his
sir.
team, his team of experts were all top notch. So they had all of the companies that participated in the slave trade. Barclays, you know, the Barclays Center, the one who kicked out Kyrie Irving, who said that he was too radical. Yeah, that Barclays, the slave owners. They had Capital One, they had Wachovia, they had all the banks, they had all of the industries all lined up in this case. Ogletree had all the paperwork, and it got thrown out. So the DNA means nothing.
Let me finish reading this article.
For sure.
What so happened? I've gotten a check. Have you? I haven't received my check yet, Hari. So they're not successful. But it's very interesting because the court has to consider, and in some cases, I think some could argue for the very first time what genetic ancestry testing means, what it can tell us, what it can't tell us. So in the end, it wasn't specific enough. The court really wanted to be able to say, not just that you have genetic inheritance that are shared with people in contemporary Nigeria, but like be able to trace your great-great-grandfather and say that this great-great-grandfather was transported on a train that was owned by CSX or that was insured by Aetna and the like. So there's a level of specificity that these tests couldn't offer. But genetic testing is getting more specific, particularly when you can layer it with all the big data revolution in contemporary genealogy. Now, genealogy is going to be the documentation of your family, not a spit in a cup, not a swab on the cheek, nothing in a Petri dish.
That's right.
So for the people that are avoiding doing the work, you are going to have to do the work. If not now, then when? And if not you, then who? Move out the way for the people that's been doing this. We've been able to catch these different malignancies in historical teaching. We've been on top of our game. And we've been standing on grandma and grandpa business for a very long time now. And it's more smoke than it needs to be. And where there's smoke, y'all need to understand it's fire.
That second part of the article that you're on right now, that's the specific, parts of the case that was talking about. So the links are placed on the website so that you can all get the context of exactly, the information. Again, it's a CNN article from that time in New York City, so it gives more specific information.
Give me 1 second. I'll run through it, and I dropped it in the chat for the people that need to see the receipts that would like to. CNN articles, suit seeks billions in slave reparations. New York, CNN. Attorneys for a former law student who discovered evidence linking U.S. corporations to the slave trade filed a federal lawsuit Tuesday that could seek billions of dollars in reparations for the descendants of slaves in America. The lawsuit filed in federal court in Brooklyn names Fleet Boston Financial, the railroad firm CSX, and the Aetna Insurance Company, and promises to name up to 100 additional corporations at a later date. It accuses the companies of conspiracy, human rights violations, unjust enrichment from their corporate predecessors' roles in the slave trade, and conversion of the value of slave labors into their profits. These are corporations that benefited from stealing people, from stealing labor, from forced breeding, from torture, from committing numerous horrendous acts. And there's no reason why they should be able to hold on to assets they acquired through such horrendous acts, said Deidre Farmer Paleman, the main plaintiff in the lawsuit. Oh goodness, what's in the name? Paleman. Hilarious. Farmer Paleman said she learned of Aetna's role in insuring slaves in legal cases, and then asked Aetna for old policies documenting the practice, which Aetna provided to her. The lawsuit was filed on behalf of 35 million African Americans. Now, it says African Americans who agreed with Miss Deidre Farmer Paleman that somebody was an African American.
Right.
Good question.
Who agreed that African Americans were the people? So now the game keeps changing and people is flipping and flopping, right? Flipping and flopping. They went from the colored folks need this, the Negroes need this, to the black folks need this, to the African Americans need this, right? So now there's flip-flopping all over the place, and people keep trying to reinvent the wheel. And even with all of this that we're reading right now, what did they do? Forget about the American.
Absolutely.
Keep telling them they forgot about Dre.
Forgot about the American Indian then also. So they wasn't rocking with genealogy even then. They went straight to the DNA when it was brand new, right? Up and coming, and they thought, Rick Kittles and them had it going on. Let's continue. The lawsuit, the lawsuit does not seek a specific dollar amount, but estimates slaves performed as much as $40 million worth of unpaid labor between 1790 and 1860. The current value of that labor could be as high as $1.4 trillion. The lawsuit alleges that Aetna's corporate predecessor insured human slave owners against the loss of their human chattel. In response, Aetna released a statement saying, "We do not believe a court would permit a lawsuit over events which, however regrettable, occurred hundreds of years ago. These issues in no way reflect Aetna today." The lawsuit notes that Fleet Boston is a successor to Providence Bank, which it says was founded by Rhode Island slave trader John Brown. Fleet Boston had no immediate comment on the suit. The suit alleges that CSX, based in Richmond, Virginia, is a successor to numerous railroads that were built or run at least in part by slave labor. In a statement, CSX said, "The suit is wholly without merit and should be dismissed. The claimants named CSX because slave labor was used to construct portions of some U.S. rail lines under the political and legal system in place for more than a century before CSX was formed in 1980. Slave reparations have been a controversial issue. A CNN USA Today Gallup poll conducted last month found a wide difference in opinion on the issue between Black and white respondents. 9 out of 10 white respondents said the government should not make cash payments to slave descendants, while 6% said that it should. Among Black respondents, 55% said the government should make cash payments and 37% said it should not. So you had Black folks saying no.
Those is Kamala Blacks.
Wow. The ones that wash their greens in the tub. I heard. The poll surveyed 1,001 adults, 820 of them white and 146 Black. February 8th through 10th, the poll had a margin of error plus or minus 9 percentage points for Black respondents and plus or minus 4% for white respondents. The percentages differ because of the difference in the number of people surveyed. The same people were asked if corporations that made profits from slavery should apologize to African Americans. Among blacks, see, you're getting misclassified in the article. Among blacks, 68% said they should, while 23% said they should not. Among whites, 32% said they should, and 62% said they should not. 3/4 of black respondents said the company should set up a scholarship funds for descendants of slaves, and 20% said they should not. Among white respondents, 35% of respondents said they favored the scholarship funds, while 61% that said that they were opposed. So there's that.
I just want to say a margin of error of 9% is extremely high for someone doing a scholarly questionnaire or a survey, using a survey instrument or something like that. So yeah, that I would take those numbers on the white or the pilgrim side with a grain of salt, y'all.
Yeah, that's a valid point. And we also need to keep in mind that there was co-counsels that was with Dr. Ogletree when he made this suit. And one of the top co-counsels in this case was Johnny Cochran. So they was not bringing no lightweight people to this. And unless y'all think that y'all got those caliber of lawyers, whatever stuff that y'all trying to do,
Johnny Cochran. Well, they got Ben Crump now.
Yeah. He don't seem very interested in this.
Ben Crump and Camilla Moore. Let's not forget he hired Camilla Moore most recently.
Oh, talk about it, baby. Talk about it.
Yeah, I don't know what all her position entails, but shout out to her for the elevation, I guess. She over there with Ben Crump and them, them ambulance chasers, baby. I never understood how a man do so much civil rights work and they never got no civil rights amendments or nothing, no enforcement or nothing. I mean, ain't nothing stopped, but he getting the checks, everybody getting paid. Sacrifice a loved one to the police and get a check is what it looked like to me. But I'm gonna mind my
Listen, that baby, they're using that 1983 part of Title 42 Civil Acts. They're not using Public Law 90284 Civil Rights Act. That's not what they're doing. They using 1983, right? Section of Title 42. That's codified from the Civil Rights Act. That was rights of Indians that these niggas is having a problem with. All of a sudden now everywhere wants to split up with multiple subject matter law. Not in America. You got a few states that's you can add on a few things, but everywhere the precedent in law is single subject matter. If you want to save the buffaloes, you better stick to the buffaloes throughout the whole end of the act that you were trying to get passed. You don't get a chance to throw in the manatees. And can we save the hummingbirds too? Yeah, they wild for that. They wild for it. But again, they also forgot about the Indians. What land did they have if they wasn't next to us? Where was they at? What plantations was they at? Was they on the same plantations as the Indian slaves?
You know what cracks me up at this point? These task force they got is running around here getting millions of dollars upon millions of dollars to run these task force. Where is all the money going? Ooh.
That's a great question, Danny. And the follow-up that I have to that is, why aren't they accessible? Like, why can't you find their email? Right?
In my state, you can't even find the calendar. I had to hear in the street how they had last month a reparations hearing about my family, mind you. I do have the meeting time and date and location for this month's hearing, but that was because I pulled up last minute to the hearing last month, uninvited. So that's just another caveat. Oh, and they're closed up here. You know, you can't even view it online in real time. You got to wait till they drop the edited version of the video. So this is where we at with it.
So when the Indian comes, and you know what, and again, even if you don't say nothing and you say something, you're still wrong. If you say nothing, you're still wrong. And if you say anything, you're wrong. You just kind of can't win with certain groups of people. And I guess we're gonna come to that understanding and realize that, right? And again, you know, I wasn't invited to the space. So that's why I didn't speak. I couldn't speak anyway because of where I was. However, I listened in and I did offer the answer to the questions that were posed. And it was always, as usual, met with great vehemence, right? Great vehemence from the truth. Now, I know for sure, and I remember this brother used to say, hey, you know, the truth will make you mad, but it will set you free. Okay? It will set you free. Might be after it piss you off, though. I wanted to show this right here because this been getting a lot of spin. I gotta show some love. They mad at him. Hold on 1 second.
Okay, guys, take your time. No problem.
While you pull that up, I'd like to give a wonderful shout out to our good sister Nikki Sunflower over there on the West Coast. I just want to say happy birthday to you, boo. Yes, enjoy your day.
Happy birthday, Sister Nikki. We appreciate you.
Happy birthday, Miss S. Happy birthday, Nikki. I hope you enjoy your day and enjoy the rest of Scorpio season.
Happy New Year, beauty. Love you. So they've been tight with the homie for this comment. Let's get it.
Mama ain't never tell me one story about no mother Africa. I don't know nothing about Africa. All I know is all the African people I know and run into, they think they better than us over here. So what you worry about me saying that I'm not African? I'm just American. What's wrong with you? You think that's a problem? And if your mother podcast show, don't bring my mother name up. I don't know you, so I'm not bringing his name. I'm still not saying his name. So what you mean? This show you can talk about. You got my name in your mouth. Both of you look alike. And I'm with. I don't care how old I am. We about the same age. Oh y'all, Africa this. Ain't there one of you mother try to go back? Mama ain't never tell me one story about no mother Africa.
Okay, that's one.
I don't know nothing about Africa. All I know is all the African people I know and run into, they think they better than us over here.
Daddy. The video of Trick Daddy.
I respect him shouting out grandma.
Exactly. They fucking hate that. I noticed they really, really don't like that, especially when you could say a name, Grandma Lillian. Ooh, it shrivels these niggas' boots. Especially them niggas that got Nefertiti tatted on their chest. Like Willie Mae wasn't good enough for them. No good niggas.
The video of Trick Daddy.
screaming about him not being from Africa is fucking hilarious. And you know, Trick Daddy's right. He goes, my people are from here. I'm from Florida, man. I'm from Florida.
I'm not from Africa.
My mama, my grandma, Florida. I love that. You are totally right. I guarantee you, Trick Daddy, Africa has not stopped moving. They're still getting on with their lives. The fact that you said you're not African, don't worry. Africa's doing just fine. I'm not sure if they even want to accept a guy named Trick Daddy. Look at Trick Daddy, okay? Let's look at him when he was skinnier. He looked like a Kenyan. He looked like he could be from Kenya, right? The Congo, whatever. And now look at him that he's gained weight and he's older. He looks like an African dictator. Remember Idi Amin? Just put one of them hats and one of them military suits on his face, and he looks like an African dictator. Just turn down the volume and watch him complain about him not being African and put an accent over his voice. I want Africa to be free. We have to stop the colonization. Listen, I'm Nigerian, okay? Nigerian American. My parents 100% Nigerian, Igbo, okay? And he looks more African than me. First of all, Nigerians that are born in Nigeria can't stand Nigerian Americans anyway. They don't think we're real Nigerians. Okay, whatever. But Trick Daddy, they will accept you faster than they will accept me. Okay. So Trick Daddy, hey, I just want to let you know everything you said was correct. But motherfucker, you look African as fuck.
Okay, so I think he ate on that. I think he thinks he ate. But really, what does an African look like? What does an African look like? They don't have the language. They don't have the land. So far, they got a continent. Their nationality says some shit that didn't even exist 100 years ago. There was no Nigeria 100 years ago. So as Godfrey speaks of his parents, both Nigerian, 100%, cool. Where are your grandparents? He about my age, so that would mean his grandparents would have been born in the early 1900s. Now, there was no Nigeria before 1950. So his grandparents ain't 100% Nigerian, is they?
He didn't mention them.
He didn't have to. He couldn't. Because they're not Nigerian. Then let's walk it back. I got 2 Indian parents, 4 Indian grandparents, 8 Indian great-great-grandparents, and 16 great-great-grandparents. How do they make this work? And why did he feel compelled to throw shade? And even though he agreed and he said, well, he's right, but he looks more African than me. Really, Godfrey? What does an African look like? Put up, I need to see they side by side with Scipio Africanus, some of the Medicis, right? I need to see that. None of them are related to the Duarte Menzingos. They're not related to Principe.
They don't even mention Queen Nzinga. And you know what I'm saying? Like, what about, you know, my favorite, Grimes? What about her? She African. Charlize Theron, too. Like, that African comes in all shapes, sizes, and colors. So
Elon Musk.
Hey, one of the richest Africans.
He don't look like a Somali to me. He don't look like an Ethiopian. They have very distinct, very beautiful features. He doesn't look like them to me. In fact, can we pull up the back chat so we can look at the features of the Mayans? Can we pull that up? Let's see what the museums say. And you know, Godfrey, he held up a picture of Idi Amin. Okay, we can roll with that. We can roll with that. But let's look at Trick Daddy's features with the weight at his age now. Whatever you want to do, Godfrey. And let's see was, what it looked like. Again, on my page, you can go, and the museum link is on the page itself. And that looked like Trick Daddy to me, nigga. The features, the nose, the lips, the Negroid features. In fact, don't even take my word for it. You can just take a picture of that right there, put it in your Google, and you can go do a search. And when you put up a search, it'll pull up Negroes from all over. But those are indigenous Mayan people in the museum today. And we can scroll down a little bit more. We can get more information on that, because we have other examples in the same museums that are in South America right now. So when you scroll down, you'll see other these quote unquote Negroid features of these indigenous Mayas of Guatemala. So scroll down. There's another one right there. Look like Trick Daddy to me, nigga. What you talking about, Godfrey? I understand you got to get some jokes. You got to get your shit off. I get all that. But let's deal with some facts. Let's deal with what's in the museums right now. We know for a fact that there's a connection between the Floridas and the Mayan people. The facts are they would take the canoes and go from South America to the islands and to Florida. That's all that man know. And that man looks exactly like the ancestors that come from the regions that have a well-known documented history. We got other examples when you scroll down a little bit more. So what you talking about, homie? They look like Trick Daddy to me. You're the person who's trying to put him over there on a whole nother landmass. He's telling you that his lineage and his history ties to this land here. And when you go to the museums, we're looking at the images that look exactly like us. These are the fighting styles and the boxing styles that we still practice today. Even the ones that are done in the Asian regions. When you look at the Asian regions and the most ancient ones, they're Negroid. So what you talking about, homie? When you deal with the most ancient that in Asia, when you go to the Andaman Islands, they do look like Trick Daddy. They look like me. They look like us. So he talking that bullshit. Scroll down a little bit more. We got more evidence. We can walk this, homie. What you talking about, Godfrey? Got groups of them. Scroll. We can get some closer pictures of them. Yeah. Look at that one right there in the middle. They got the tablet. He's got a turban on his head. You mean to tell me that if somebody just came from Spain that just got done dealing with Moors, whooping their ass for over 700 years, that if they just got off the ship and saw a Negroid man with thick lips with a turban on their head, then they're going to make a correlation between the people that they just left and the same turban wearing Negroes that are right there in that museum right now today? We ain't talking the same thing. Y'all on some ignorant nigga shit. We can scroll down and get some more evidence. We can walk this. They look like siblings to me. That's the man, that's the woman.
Wow.
And this is the Academy Award winner. And she has a brother. And her brother looks exactly like that image on the left. Because he was an actor too.
That's Hattie McDaniel.
Hattie McDaniel.
That's my boo from Going with the Wind. White trash, white trash, white trash.
That's what she said. That's what she said.
She ran the whole movie. Right. I loved it. She ran that whole. Listen.
And her brother looked just like her. And that's the feature right there in the museum today. But they look like siblings. It's all love. It's all love. But he looked like Biggie Smalls to me. We can scroll down a little bit more. Fighting styles. We got Sifu Sharif Bey. But we got the fighting styles right there on display in the museums. Same features. Ain't nothing changed. Scroll down a little bit more. We got more. Other angles right there. Just to make sure y'all, no mistakes going on here. We got the side shots. Because y'all be trying to, especially the racist Icebridgians, They like to sit there and say, oh, yeah, it was really a monkey. Oh, yeah, it was really a baby jaguar. It was nah, nigga, this is a human being. What you talking about?
Brother Ish, I just want to point out too, even the way that on the figure that you just shown, even the way how the bandana is tied is similar to how, you know, some of our brothers and sisters still tie their bandana, you know, whether it's around the hairline region or whether the sisters tying it
yeah.
That's
right.
Yep, right there.
That's right. And look at the beautiful kinky hair. Look at the beautiful, magnificent features. Are you kidding me? We're not talking about the same thing. Y'all sitting there using the colonizer imagery of what an African looks like, ignoring the fact that the indigenous Mayans on the museums today have those features. The coloration is jet black, niggas. What y'all talking about? All y'all got to do is run into a real one. When y'all run into a real one, they will air y'all out and embarrass y'all with them outdated theories y'all pushing. But we can scroll down. We can see some more. We got all the shots. We got all the angles. We got all that. And we also got the mixtures of who have the more Asian features. We embrace all of that. They're part of our indigenous family. We ain't tripping on that. We ain't tripping on it. I see beauty in that. I see beauty. I see a magnificent a display of strength and culture. And we can scroll down and go on to some more. What are y'all tripping about? That's a man that is a Mayan wearing a turban. That's an indigenous headdress. Y'all are tripping. So yeah, Godfrey, you gave your presentation and we just gave ours. And that's checkmate, game over.
Just like that, like that.
But boom, 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 pow.
Don DeMarco.
Gotta love it.
And flawless victory.
Yeah, they got them talking points, man. They so
So there's that Trick Daddy. Ain't nothing wrong with being home, baby. And that man can fry some fish, okay?
Yeah, Trick Daddy's been vindicated.
Yeah.
And he love the kids.
Trick love the kids.
And grandma, allegedly.
You know what I'm talking about?
He made sure he shouted her out.
That's right. And he a thug.
I can't get mad at that.
Standing on grandma and grandpa business. And you defeat these fallacies these other folks be talking about with the tangibles. Ain't that something? Bring grandma and grandpa to every war we got out here. Dead or alive.
Now tell Godfrey to produce the documented proof of his 10th great grandmama and granddaddy. Tell him to produce the documented proof of his 10th great grandma and granddaddy. That'll be a starting point for us to have that conversation.
Any one of them.
Know,
on either side. Wait a
grandma.
minute. Either one of them, on his daddy's side, on his mama's side, he could pick any line. Just get to the 10th generation. Okay.
Produce it. Bring the documented proof.
Brother Ish, I'd even take ninth generation. I'd even take ninth generation. That I give him an E for effort if he could come up with the ninth generation.
He got money and resources. He got access to genealogy better than the rest.
Period in his DNA. He got DNA. Yeah.
So we're gonna start at 10. We can go back from there. And
all right, you heard it, ladies and gentlemen. Brother Ish said 10th generation.
Yeah, I'm putting a challenge out for real. Let's start at the 10th generation, Godfrey, grandma, grandpa, and then we can go back from there.
That's reasonable. Yes, indeed. It's good to see some of y'all. Cherokee Peasy, love you, baby. I saw my nephew Miguel in there. out there. What's up, beloved? Beautiful people, DBG, Sister Moon, Miss Evans, hey, beauty. Got Lloyd Cardi, Sun Spirit. There go Gator coming up out the water. Got Pompano. What's up, American Isness? What's happening, all y'all beautiful people? Happy New Year, Nikki Sunflower. Let's go.
Moon, can you tell me where these other Black Americans have come from? I just need to know what other Black Americans come from.
Some of them came from Europe. Ooh, I know they don't like that.
Yeah, I need you to expound on that. Can you break that down a little bit?
Oh, yeah.
Both of y'all ladies.
They totally dismiss Black Europeans as if they don't exist. They're not a thing. They weren't here. They weren't slaves. The white people were never slaves. There's a lot of misinformation that they're really upset about, and I think the craziest one was the white slavery. And even when we showed them the receipts, it was met with great vehemence. Again, the truth makes them very, very angry, and it doesn't settle well with them. But the Black European, just a complete denial and swapped out with just a pale white man, the white. I don't know what other proof we can show them, whatever, things we could provide. They don't want to tell the truth. And also we know that they're not being truthful about their ancestry. Right? They want us to find and these mysterious Africans, and then they don't want to talk about the original Africans who are actually the Europeans. I don't know what the big deal is. I don't know.
Well, because the amalgamation, Phoenix, the amalgamation. Because we know we are amalgamation and we have an ethnogenesis. Because that's our ethnonym. And you got to know these things.
And that's on acronym in them. That's on the acronyms. I get it. But it ain't for me. That's not our lane. That's not the lane. It's not no car I'm going to sit in. And at this point, people that's fighting for something should be, standing on the truth. Because it don't need no legs to walk or knees to crawl. And
they would Black, they would Negro, they would all that shit. Just, give them the check.
I think I had a question that I wanted to ask earlier. What did African Blacks bring to America that became a part of Black American culture? That was the question. That was one of them.
Okra.
Oh. That's it.
And they could have kept that slimy vegetable. That joint terrible.
Now, the highest concentration of okra is where? It's not that we haven't all been exposed to it, but it's predominantly where? The Gulf area, right?
Mm-hmm. Southeast area.
Yeah, I would assume, yeah.
Where the majority of Black Europeans went, right? Would that be fair to say? And I guess I got another question. Let me show y'all something. Hold on.
Did they do any fine dining? Did they offer any kind of okra? Anybody ever had okra?
Unfortunately, Nubian, they did not bring hip hop. We already had that. Yep, that's an American Indian thing. All that rhyming and dot 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 with our words, yeah, that come right back on this here land right here.
Yeah. No, that's not African. That's American made. Yeah. Anybody ever had okra in a restaurant, like a fine dining restaurant at all? Okra.
Never.
I
I
never
never,
have.
I never seen it on the menu before. I just know it's their claim to fame.
I gotta go back to these other Negroes. And I'm gonna go back to these other Negroes because not only do they go back to the Gullah, the Gauls, and the original Negroes, and that's all the people surrounding the Mediterranean. But we're gonna go back to the Romani people. And then my next question is gonna be if Columbus took these people that look like those statues that cousin Ish just showed, right? Hold on. Just in case you've never seen St. Mary of the Good Winds, take a good look here. It's a very short video.
The chapel is dedicated to Santa Maria de los Buenos Aires, Saint Mary of the Good Winds, patron saint of navigators, and a favorite of Columbus. This altar dates from shortly after.
Can you turn it up a little bit more?
It's really nothing to hear. There's somebody in the background talking as they're explaining what it is that people are looking at. It's really nothing to hear, and it's only 32 seconds long. It's really what we're going to see here. Yeah, you see who was under the cape? So if these is the niggas that he brought with him, if those are the people that he brought with him from San Domingue, those chocolatey, copper-colored folks with that kinky curly hair, that's who he brought. Those are the Indians he brought back. Then who are the Negroes he brought to the Americas?
Yeah, legitimate question.
If that's who he swapped out, the Romanis were the first people, also called gypsies. We went through this with part 1. We told you about these gypsies, right? And the Roma. And if those Negroes are the first people that he brought, and they came directly from Spain, directly from Europe, who did he bring that fit right into the slave class of Negroes that they took out of here? I just, somebody might be able to explain that. And there couldn't have been any distinction from the Mayans. How much of a distinction do you think the Mayans versus when they got brought to the Southeast, cousin Ish? When the Mayans were getting also transported into the 13 colonies, they couldn't have looked much different.
Correct. Huh? Correct. Right.
So I don't know. So now, again, the burden of proof is going to be on these people that are using colors, right, to define their history. That's not going to last. It's not going to last. It's not going to work. And hold on. Let me just show you. Let me see something here. Well, I'll just pull it up. Hold on 1 second.
You want to, cousin? Take your time. No problem.
It's also interesting to me, that connection, post Revolutionary War with the Sierra Leone and the Loyalist connection, as well as
Oh yeah.
as well as that Committee for the Relief of the Black Poor, which I really believe is the analogous organization in London, like we had the American Colonization Society. Because my question is, who were the Black poor back in 1787 when King George III was monarch? Right?
That's right,
Who
Doc.
was he expelling?
Right.
Was he continuing the business of King James the Sixth, the seventh and the second? That proclamation in 1625, was that a continuation of that? I
Quite
don't know, but I'll
interesting.
be, yeah.
So what are we looking at here, cousin? What are we looking at? Because these look like some official documented records right here. What is it?
Yes, we're gonna look at some other black folk. What other kind of black Americans was here? Let's look at these folks here. Let's take Richard Ruzick. And I discovered this years ago in Albany, living up there for quite a bit of time. Richard Ruzick, male, race, black. Birth date 1805. He was born in Holland. He lives here in Albany. They lived in Albany. Black. And now, what the ditto means. This is Richard Ruzick and his wife, Joanna. They're black, and they're from Holland, and all of the family members here.
Now, Moon, what year did you say that was again?
This is 1850.
1850. And
yes.
what in the Hanover dynasty also be ruling in England at that same time after George III and Charlotte of Mecklenburg, who we just referenced?
That is correct.
Oh, that's a bomb right there. Y'all got to follow up on what he just said so y'all can check the records. That's deep.
So now, if you notice, everybody, this is ditto, right? It means the same thing as the previous, okay? So he's black. Mr. Ruzick is black from Holland, but I want you to look at everybody else. They're all black. This man's from Ireland, black. German, black. Let's see what country this is. New York, okay. They're all black. German, black. What's that? New York, German, black. Damn. Let me go to the next page. Hold on, right? Yes, because this is Richard, and he's black, and so ain't all these other people, but you got some more folks ahead of him, right? Because the B didn't start there, so some black Irish here above him, some black Scotland's, right? Scottish right here, they black too. Let's see, black, race black, and they from England. Let's see, these folks is black, yep, and Scotland. Okay. Ooh, they got $50,000 worth of real estate. Black, Scottish. Yes, indeed.
On the real, slow down, cuz you murking them.
That's a couple dollars right there. All right. See some more blacks. Let's go to the next page before. Oh, shit. Look, they're all black too. More blacks from Ireland, Scotland. Let's see. Is that England? Don't matter. They all black. The Russians black. The Holland people black. The Germans black. The Irish black. Everybody black. Black on black on black on black. And they've been here for a few generations, so they Black Americans.
There's still
Ta-da.
slavery going on though, right? That was 1850. That's slavery in the
That's
South.
1850.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Victorian era.
So these ticket blacks, whole groups and groups and groups of ticket blacks.
Yeah.
So when you asking the questions, what kind of black are you? You just show documented proof and proof and proof. That's why you ask those kind of questions. What kind of black are you?
That's
Absolutely,
exactly right.
but most people will think that Cousin Phoenix is being facetious by asking those probing questions, where no, she's just trying to establish a genealogical tie of whether you're a cousin or if you're from abroad. And even if you're from abroad, that's not necessarily a bad thing, because you still get an opportunity to understand who grandma is and grandpop is.
Can we present another kind of black?
Absolutely.
The link is on the back page. Let's see. Let's take a look at the Indians that greeted Columbus that are on display in the museum today. So this is a link. This is an article that's actually coming from the Amsterdam Museum. This is the top museum in Amsterdam. And those are the features of the Indians that greeted Christopher Columbus that are on display in the museum today. Them black. They got the indigenous, the fullness of the lips. Godfrey. Yeah, remember, I ain't forget about you, nigga. Don't think I forgot. Let you ride. So anyways, yeah, we got the hair, we got the nose, we got the lips, we got the features. And we can scroll down just a little bit and kind of let's explore that, open that up a little bit. And actually, let's hyperlink that. Let's click that hyperlink because we make it real easy at First Tribe Nation. So once you click that hyperlink, I don't know if you got to scroll up a little bit to actually catch the link. But if you click the hyperlink, it'll take you to the museum page.
Oh, hold on a second. I got it, but it didn't.
Mm-hmm. And if y'all go to the actual museum page, you'll be able to see the context of the Columbus display. So once you're able to find the Columbus section on there, you will be able to see for yourself the people who greeted Christopher Columbus. So I'm sure it's in their language. The hyperlink didn't work for you when you try to click it.
I thought that was a hyperlink. Hold on, let me go back.
Mm-hmm.
We absolutely have to have a troll in the chat, Phoenix. There's gotta be a troll in the chat. And the fact that I can't connect to the chat is irking me because I want to tell this dude off so bad.
Who that is? I'm sure he
Nubian, he
can
got
hear
it. Nubian Messiah got it so wrong. Sweetheart, please don't bring up my fifth great grandfather no more in that foolishness. Lord, I love when they bring up Willie Lynch. They don't know nothing about that man. Listen, a Nigerian made that fake ass letter, okay? A Nigerian student who was
Oh, he
over here
talking
with
about
my.
Willie Lynch and
Yeah, they be
oh
loving to throw
god.
my great, 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 great granddaddy in this mess. That man, he don't care about you know who your people was. He think all of us American Negro people, them Negro Indians, yeah, he thought he was better than us. That old British man now, he thought he was better than us, and he married one. Go figure.
Wow.
hilarious. This is the hyperlink, right, guys?
It's not the hyperlink, but I know it's on the page itself. If I was able to share mine, you just click it and it would take you to the page. But no, it's perfectly fine. But again, it shows you the features of the blacks or the Indians that greeted actual Christopher Columbus. Those are the ones that he identified when he said that he met them over in Galloway, Ireland. So yeah, that's it right there. So again, that's the link to the museum itself. That's going to show you the features of the people who met Christopher Columbus. Okay, so we just want to make sure that we were able to show that. What kind of black are you? Are you the blacks that came over on a ticket? Are you the blacks that were already here that greeted Columbus? There's so many kinds of blacks. So that's why we ask these questions when you're in the American Indian spaces and you use such a blanket term. We're trying to find out, like what Dr. Nolan said, we're trying to find out what kind of black are you? Because we have the indigenous ties to this land. That's the ones that we are. And that's exactly why we ask those questions. And again, this museum is in Amsterdam. You can go to the Amsterdam Museum and see it on display today, or just go to their website and they got it on display.
That is the Rijks Museum, not the one on Planet Whisk. Okay. Risk.
But
And Phoenix, I was gonna bring up, even since we were talking about what kind of black are you, even the Dutch Afrikaan connection to blackness, right? Since
the
Brother Ish
Afrikaans.
brought up Amsterdam and everything, I think that's a good segue.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Okay. Hold on. I guess we should start right here. Y'all tell me if I'm wrong. But I think let's start with Afrikaans, the etymology. The Germanic language of the Dutch language as spoken in South Africa. From Dutch, Afrikaans, Afrikaanisch, see Afrikaner. South African, native of Dutch descent. From Dutch, Afrikaner, African, with unetymological D on analogy of Hollander, Englander, Afrikaner. That's interesting. That's the same as the language kind of tells it, right? Because look, let's get the Google Translator. I want to see how much difference it changed. Because
See
they
where it
have
says the Germanic language, though? Remember we talked about the Germanic tribes? See what it says right there? Yes, and they're telling you that the Dutch were one of the Germanic tribes.
Let's play with the translator a little bit. Let's see. Black. Oh wait, no, let me switch it, right? Swart. So that's their word. So we talking about the same people when they say black.
Like Swartmore.
Right? Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay, so let's get the etymology of swart. If they having a hard time, let's see. Hold on. Old English, swart, black, being of dark hue in reference to night, clouds, also figurative, wicked, Infamous from Proto-Germanic. There's Proto-Germanic again, Swarta. Source also of Old Frisian, Old Saxon, Old Middle Dutch, Schwart, Dutch, Schwart, Old Norse, Zwart, German, Schwarz, Gothic, Swartz, dark-colored black. From Proto-Indo-European root, Swarto, dirty, dark black. The native Germanic word surviving in continental languages, but displaced in English by black. Also in Old English in reference to skin color of persons.
You know another key word for Schwartz? Nigger.
Nigger.
Like Arnold.
Schwarzenegger. Black nigger.
Yes.
Interesting. So what would they call a Black American? Let's see. See if there's a distinction in their language for Black American. Let's see. Swart Americana. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, so now, shits and giggles, I'm curious. All right. Hold on. I think I want to switch this back. What was the other word? Hold on. Let me grab this other word. Go back to black. Let's go to black. Blackest. Okay. Let me play with this word right here. See what detect language and see what comes up. Ain't this funny? Y'all ready for this? I just copied and pasted. Hold on.
What is it?
Yeah, this shit funny. I just took blackest, right? That's the word that was one of the German variations. And guess what it comes up? Basque. I put it in detect language, let it pick it out for itself. So they're saying Proto-Germanic, right? Because before Germany, right? Because where did the Germans come from if Germany came after the language? I don't get it. But anyway, I just, took blackest, the word blackest, which means burned, and I put it here, and it gave us a place. What language does that come from? Basque. Isn't that a different type of Negro?
Yes. Uh-huh.
And it's funny because it means by the way. That's what it translates in English, by the way. Isn't that funny? Let's go back.
Wow.
Play with their translator. Hold on. Let's go back. Old source, let's see. Source also of Old Norse, blacker. All right, let's play with that one. Detect language, paste. Okay. And you want to know what's funny? Because look who it goes back to.
Every time I hear of Norse and the word Swarthy, I always think of Swarthy Pete.
Swarthy Pete.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just put blacker in there and it comes up Dutch for black also. So now I'm going to take the other word. Hold on. Let's take bleg. And this is Proto-Indo-European. and drop it in here and see what they say. Hindi, balag. That's what it translates to in English. So let's go see who and what balag is. Shall we? Balag. Balaga, Bell. What the hell? Telugu. Back to Bharat somewhere. Telugu. Y'all know who the Telugus are, right?
Yes, indeed.
Huh. So
They speak Tagalog.
Speaking Tagalog. I think this is hilarious. That's almost as bad as the daggone Navajo language. They little code talker stuff created by Robert Young. Y'all want to spin that block? Because and that's going to point out where some Negroes went too. Stashed inside some of these federally recognized tribes of people that think they so more ancient than the rest of us. Y'all want to spin that block?
Absolutely.
I was gonna
Yeah, I'm
say
down
only
for it.
if we taking ourselves all the way back to how Swahili is English too. Oops.
Okay. Because they like asking, where's your language? Where's your language? No, that your ancient language, you don't even speak it. Turns out them niggas ain't speaking neither until goddamn World War II. Whatever. Athabaskan. I'm going to save that one. But I'm going to save that. Hold on. Let's go. Let's learn us some sacred Navajo language, shall we? Let's count to 10. How about we do that? So this language was created by Robert Young, and I forget the other nigga name. Y'all can go and look at it on your own time, but this shit was created by some dude that called himself a linguist. Right? So they wasn't speaking Navajo in 1820, 1850. They wasn't speaking Navajo in 1900 neither. Okay. Let's go down. Let's get some of these language. Let's get some words. Let's get some of these words. Vowels. Interesting. This is how they set up their consonants. How Robert Young and his partner set up their consonants. This ain't their ancient shit. This is something that was given to them not too long ago. Let's get it. Okay. Oh, it looks like they done made some edits, huh, Doc? What you say? Then they made
It
some
definitely
edits.
look edited.
Oh, yes. They made some editing since I went through it. Okay. All right. I gotcha.
That is wild. Wow. Pelican brief in real time, y'all.
Scroll down.
Used to.
Scroll down. Hold
Huh?
on. Scroll down to the bottom of the Wikipedia page, please.
Okay, hold on. I'll go back. Oh, they done switched it up. Hold on, guys. Oh, man. Okay, here we go. I hate that it makes you stop sharing, start sharing to go from page to page, but okay. Yeah, let me
scroll down at the very bottom of the page for me, please.
Down, down, down to the band. All the way down. down. Oh shit, they completely removed it. Hilarious. Where you want me to go, cuz?
I am
All the way down to the bottom.
flabbergasted.
All the way down.
Here we go.
What does it say? When was it last edited? Right there. What does it say? When was the last edited? What date?
November 13th, 2020.
Busted.
Oh, they are savage. They are savage, yo.
Busted.
I really don't believe that. But now we also see who edited it, right?
Yo, yeah, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it shows the exact person who edited it, but this is why in colleges they say never use Wikipedia as a source reference, right?
Facts.
Because
Bingo.
this is what they do. They'll catch your information, know that you're on their trail, and start erasing the records, burning the libraries, right? So now y'all just caught it in real time exactly what they be doing. That's how I knew the date was gonna be something recent. Because my cousin, her word is bond, and if she say something been edited, let's see, because it had to be happening real soon. That's exactly how I'm so confident to know that.
This shit is crazy.
And I was exactly there when she pulled that source. And man, I am just flabbergasted. This almost reminds me of the Choctaw Constitution. Remember that drop a couple months ago, y'all? Like,
yes, they changed it by the time we woke up, right? When we read it on
in
Chief's
24
channel.
hours. Yep.
I don't even think it was 12 hours. They changed the whole goddamn Constitution, broke the goddamn law. Yo, you can't make this shit up. Change the goddamn language of the treaty. Absolutely insane. Okay, I got something for their asses. You want to play games? You want to play rough? That's how I like it. Hold on now. We're going to play with this right here. Let me just
snap.
take it
They
to the
done woke
top.
up Moon Inner Petty.
Yes, now I got to go. I got to. Hold on now. First of all, let's go back to the Athabascan. Okay, hold on. Let's do that. The type of people. And we're gonna break down that word. Okay, let's do that. Southern Athabascan language, right? Make that big for you. Y'all see that? Navajo or Navajo, Dine Bazad, Tinipiza, or Nabiho Bazad is a Southern Athabascan language of the Nadine family, proposed only, as are other languages spoken across the western areas of North America. Okay? Now, hold on now. I ain't gonna let you down now. Hold on. Let me grab some bullshit so I can fuck around with the fuck around. They can find out. Give me a second, y'all. I'm winding up. Okay. Okay, here we go. Ooh, no. Hold on. There we go. Okay, y'all. All right. Let's go. Let's see what the number 0 is. Hold on. And we're going to take that and we're going to drop it right here. I hate that I have to keep doing this to switch screens, but
You just have to share your tab, share your screen, full screen, and then you can just keep click onto the tab.
Keep running. I bet. Hold on. All right. Boom. Let's take it to the translator. Y'all can see?
Yeah, we see it.
All right. This day number 1. This shit is Slovak. I want y'all to look at the language up here. I let it detect the language. Slovak.
Oh yeah, that's Slavic. Mm-hmm.
In a flash. That's the English translation to their number 1. Okay, hold on. Let's go get number 2. Oh, that was 0. I'm sorry. Here's number 1. Let's drag it. Detect language. Sword. Lingala. The Lingala word for sword. It's ancient American. Here go number 2. Let's count with us to 10. Nothing. Maori. They done stole from the goddamn Maori. Let's see it.
Jeez Louise.
Shame.
Maori. That's they shit. Okay. All right. Let's go back. We at number 3 and we done went from 0 to 2 and got 3 different goddamn places. Hold on. 3 different lands. Hold on. Yoruba. Interesting. Number 3 is Yoruba. Here go 4. Don't mean shit. Nuer. What the hell is that? Nuer. What language is that? What language is that?
That looked at like, oh, I look like that's same like something I seen in. Wait, is that Japanese?
Nuer?
I was gonna say it looked like I seen that in Canada, but like I can't zoom in, so.
Hold on, let me drop this. Uzbekistan. There we go. In the Caucasus Mountains.
Uzbekistan.
Also,
former Russia territory.
Also, some Slovaks there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Slavic.
Ain't Slovenia? Ain't that former like Czechoslovakia, Melania Trump folks?
Yeah, those are Slavic.
Romanis.
Yep, Romanis. Oh, here they number 6. See what they got going on.
Bohemians, Bavarians, all them folks, right? That we chopped on
Lingala
at the
again.
last time.
Lingala. This has to happen, nigga. Has to. Okay. I reloaded. Why would Robert Young give these people some made up languages like this? This crazy. And they sit here and try to act like, man, hold on now. This like they number 6 or 7. I done lost count. Y'all counting? Uzbekistan again. They back in Uzbekistan for number 7.
You can't keep them out of Europe.
Uzbekistan.
I would love to see the Navajo, the Navajo code talkers, compared with the Russian intelligence that was going on at the time back in World War II, to see how those things correlate. You get what I'm going?
Yep. They got Yoruba. They back in the Yoruba territory. And we know the Yorubas originally come from the Middle East, Persia.
Yep.
Giuseppe. Sound like Giuseppe. But okay. That's their number 8. Let's get to number 9. Ancient Navajo. I thought she was an Indian. Lingala. Okay. Let's see where the hell Lingala's at. Bantu. What the fuck? What?
Yeah, that's all Congo. That's Congo stuff.
Oh wow.
So the Navajo speaking Bantu. I'm just so.
Damn, who's your daddy?
What in the American colonization society is going on here?
Right? What manner of niggatry is this?
What in the Idi Amin is going on?
Here go they number 10. Unknown in English. Showing translation for Neznama. Hold on, they give me a check. Ooh, say it 5 times fast. One more again. Damn, you can't just say 10. Can't just say 10. God damn. That's a lot for the number 10. But okay. I think I'm done here. I think I'm gonna leave it. The ancients. They got some Negro going on. So what kind of Negro is the Navajo? What kind of Negro is that?
Can you add that that last link that I put on the back chat?
Sir. One moment, please.
Appreciate that. Thank you, good.
Here we go. Trinity College Digital Repository, an analysis of the shamanistic healing practices of the Navajo American Indians through Mercia Eliades, theories of time, space, and ritual.
Okay, so we got that, and that's dealing with the shamanistic origins of the Navajo is a breakdown from the Trinity College. And then let's look up that etymology of shaman. The link is in the back.
Okay, hold on 1 second.
Mm-hmm. And let's check and see what that etymology said. Of y'all medicine men of the Navajo.
Etymology, shaman.
Mm-hmm. What it say?
1690s. Priest of the Ural-Altaic peoples of Northern Asia, probably via German shamani, from Russian shaman, from Tungus saman, which according to OED is perhaps from Chinese shaman, Buddhist monk, from Prakrit, Samaya, from Sanskrit, Sramana, Buddhist ascetic, extended to similar personages in other parts.
And what it say about shamanism? This is a good part, y'all. Right there.
The general name applied to the religion of the inhabitants of northern Siberia.
Ding, 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 Siberia. Ding, 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 ding.
God damn.
Walked y'all right to Siberia.
There's a hole. Go back inside the hole. They said they came from out of a hole. Shamanism. Hey
Navajo.
now. What you say? What you say? What y'all saying out there? Y'all want to come talk about it? I'm gonna drop the link.
I got a little cherry to go on top of that too, y'all.
Yes, I just saw it. Hold on.
Oh yes, we all about the caveats right now. Let's add that caveat in here.
Yes, indeed.
Don't forget the Chinese connection, and I ain't talking about the movie, to the drug trade that's going on with the Navajo, right? Don't forget about that.
Inside the Chinese
did we forget about the Navajo having them damn Chinese slaves up and over there? Oh,
no, we didn't.
And that's connected to that too.
Absolutely
same
right.
thing.
Can't let I thought she wasn't Indian. Navajo. Oh, you know we got to play that before we fade out. Got to hit
Yo.
Last summer, New Mexico state special agents inspecting a farm found thousands more cannabis plants than state laws allow. Then on subsequent visits, they made another unexpected discovery: dozens of underfed, shell-shocked Chinese workers. The workers said they had been trafficked to the farm in Torrance County, New Mexico, where they were prevented from leaving the land and never got paid. They looked weathered, said Lynn Sanchez, director of a New Mexico social services nonprofit, who was called in after the raid. They were very scared, very freaked out. They are part of a new pipeline of migrants leaving China and making unauthorized border crossings into the United States via Mexico. And many are taking jobs at hundreds of cannabis farms springing up across the United States. An NPR investigation into a cluster of farms, which the industry calls cannabis grow operations, in New Mexico found businesses that employ and are managed and funded largely by Chinese people. They're seeking opportunities in a flourishing U.S. cannabis market after the coronavirus pandemic led to a global economic crisis. But some of the businesses have run afoul of the law, even as states such as New Mexico have legalized marijuana. One of the workers encountered at the farm in Torrance County is 41-year-old L, who came from China's central Hubei province a year ago. He asked NPR to use only his first initial because he is anxious about legal prosecution in the U.S. and China. L told NPR he struggled to find work in China during the pandemic lockdown. He was forced to move out of his home after a state developer demolished his house to make way for a new project. But his new apartment was never built and he lost his deposit. When L went to the developer's office to protest, he got into a physical fight with employees of the company and was jailed. That was when disillusioned L saw videos on Douyin, a sister app of TikTok in China, about people purportedly earning good money in the United States. There was one influencer who kept messaging me his pay stubs in California, showing how he was making sometimes 5,000 a month, and telling me how easy it was, Elle says. He got in contact with an agent who promised to help him get to the U.S. Watching Douyin videos, Elle learned how to zuizan, or walk the line, to the U.S.-Mexico border. First, he flew to Turkey, then Ecuador. He then took a grueling month-long trip from South America to Mexico. That included buses, boats, and a long walk through the hazardous Darien Gap jungle. The journey was full of countless trials and tribulations, says Elle. He was robbed twice in Latin America and feared he might die from exposure, but crossed into the U.S. in May 2023. On a path also regularly used by Caribbean and South American migrants, now large numbers of Chinese migrants are taking this land route. U.S. border authorities say they encountered 37,000 Chinese people who crossed irregularly into the U.S. southern border last year, more than the past 10 years combined. Border officials apprehended Elle but released him in July, pending review of his asylum claim. He rented a room in Southern California's Monterey Park, which is home to a large Chinese immigrant community. Their fellow Chinese immigrants introduced him to labor agencies that promised to place workers without documentation for a $100 fee. One agency's Chinese language social media ad for cutting grass in a greenhouse caught Elle's eye. It offered to pay $4,000 a month in cash for what seemed like easy work, he says. Borrowing a cell phone, he dialed the number listed. From California, Elle and a handful of other recent Chinese immigrants were driven to the New Mexico grow operation called Bliss Farm. They were shocked by what they saw, a hodgepodge of about 200 greenhouses, but because their phones and passports had been taken by their managers, they felt obligated to stay, workers say. The farm said it would cover food and shelter so you could save all your wages. A Bliss Farm worker from China's northern province of Shenyang told NPR, but the farm was just a big dirt field. He also requested anonymity because he is applying for asylum in the U.S. and fears being sent back to China. He says he regularly worked 15-hour shifts alongside the greenhouse's manager, a man from China's Shandong province, and the manager's relatives. At the end of their shift, the managers left, and the workers slept in wooden sheds with dirt floors. 3 workers NPR interviewed say none of them were paid before the operation was shuttered. New Mexico authorities say a tip about worker conditions and zoning violations led them to visit the farm last year. Just a very disastrous grow. There was trash, water, fertilizers, nutrients, pesticides leaking into the ground, says Todd Stevens, director of the state's Cannabis Control Division. As soon as the officer stepped in, I think red flags started going off everywhere. Sanchez, director of the New Mexico social service nonprofit, the Lifelink, describes the condition of laborers she encountered there. They had burns, visible burns on their hands and arms. The chemicals, they told me, it was from the chemicals, Sanchez says. They looked very malnourished. Elle and 2 other workers NPR interviewed were among those found at the farm. They've applied for asylum in the U.S. and their cases are pending. Navajo. Hold on, I got another drop. China in 60 minutes. China immigrants from 60 minutes.
Yeah, let's see how they walk right in, because we have the Asian vice president who's letting them all in. So let's see how she works.
I mean, but wouldn't this fall under their Asian hate bill? You know what?
No.
Where's the hate?
You can't. No, you can't criticize that.
Where's
That's a
the
hate
hate?
crime.
No,
Y'all didn't know that was a thought crime now? No. Can't ask those questions.
I don't think 60 Minutes would engage in hate. So no, I don't think 60 Minutes engages in that. We're just playing the clip Fair use. God damn it.
Yep. Copyright Act. Yeah, let's check it out.
Yeah, it's all in real time. It just happened. It just happened 6 months ago. So let's see what it showed. Moon, you got the link?
Yes, I thought it was playing. Hold on. I'll bring it back.
No problem. I think you need to click the share audio too for us to hear it.
Okay.
The little box.
"60 Minutes overtime."
This is a pretty big hole.
I have seen 150 people walk through it in less than a minute.
You're kidding.
Yeah, sometimes the drivers on the other side go, run, run, run. And then everybody just scurries through and they get caught on the concertina wire.
This week on 60 Minutes, we reported on the rising number of Chinese migrants at the U.S. southern border. We visited the area, which is a break in the border fence near Yacumba Hot Springs, California. It's called San Judas Break, and it's named after a neighboring Mexican town. Many of the Chinese migrants will end up asking for political asylum. Sam Schultz lives nearby.
The metal part of the wall was built during the Obama era, and this lovely concertina wire was added by Mr. Trump. And as you can see, it is just a straight walk around.
It's been
There
pushed
it is.
aside.
You can just hear it. I mean, the reality is that the wall is at least 6 feet and sometimes more inside of American territory. So even if you go down there, you're technically still in America.
If people all the way in China know there's a hole here, clearly the Border Patrol knows there's a hole here. Why is there still a hole here?
I have asked this question to everyone that I ever contact in the Border Patrol who's official at all. I say, why? I personally can stand here and tell people not to come in. And I've done it as a joke. There was like 50 people over there. And I said, don't come. And they don't come. It's like there could be a Border Patrol agent here and they wouldn't come in.
Schultz told us he had a career as an aid worker. As a Quaker, he said he feels an obligation to help these migrants by offering food and clothing as they wait to surrender to U.S. Border Patrol.
What do they tell you about how they got here from China?
Interesting stories, many. There's two different routes that the Chinese people I've spoken to have generally done. One is the overland route from Ecuador, because they're visa-free in Ecuador, and then they basically cross all the borders and everything by busing and all that, all the way up here with no stamps in their passport except an Ecuadorian stamp. But then I would say about 30 or 40% of the people here are flying directly into Tijuana. Usually they have paid for a package tour in Cancun because they will go to Cancun, fly from there to Mexico City, then usually in a roundabout route to get to Tijuana, spend the night in Tijuana. Next day they ride out here. Most people that do that have paid all-inclusive amounts, according to what I understand, up to $15,000.
Whoa.
The Chinese migrants usually spend a couple of days in U.S. Customs and Border Protection custody in a center like this, where everyone gets a background check. Some are interviewed. After that, buses bring them to one of 3 transit centers in San Diego. Volunteers then direct migrants to other destinations around the U.S.
Everybody seems to have a cell phone.
Right, yeah, everybody does have a cell phone.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you could make it through this journey without a cell phone.
Kathy Lembo is the president of South Bay Community Services. San Diego County paid $6 million to set up this migrant center. More than 600 people a day have come through.
What do they need when they get here?
It all depends. Some just need to charge their phone and they're self-sufficient. They call an Uber and they're gone. Others will say to us, I need help. I've never done an airline ticket before. I have this much money for my airline ticket. And so we help them get an airline ticket and also help them contact their sponsor.
Who's paying for the bus ticket? Who's paying for the
counties
airline?
of San Diego funded this center. So those are the funds that are utilized. With airfare. We're real judicious about doing that. A lot of the migrants have their own money, but they have cash and they have pesos and other forms of money. So we have to take the cash, and then what we do is we put it on our organization's charge card.
This is a money exchange happening here.
We become a money exchange,
For people who say, you know, we are making this way too easy, and places like this are enabling them to continue to come because they get the message that, hey, the U.S. is open, they'll help you get where you want to be.
Yeah.
What do you say to that?
Border Patrol was dropping them off at what's called our transit stations, which are trolley stations. They were just dropping these people off, 800-900 people a day. So you can imagine the impact on those communities. So they need help from us arranging onward travel for them. So what we're doing is we're having a place that has no effect on any community. We're self-contained here so that people can move on to the next phase of their journey. Only 0.5% of the people who've come here since October 11th have stayed in San Diego.
Many of the Chinese migrants head to San Francisco or New York City, where they will wait for their asylum court hearings, often waiting for years. You think they're going to keep coming?
Oh, come on. They're flying into the airport right now. I had somebody there in Tijuana airport 3 nights ago. He was stuck there waiting for a flight. You saw over 500 people from other nationalities flying into the airport. A lot of Chinese, a lot of Turks. They're not going to the beach in Ensenada.
They're not here for the jet skis.
No, they're not.
So y'all just heard the numbers yourself. 800 to 900 a day. 500 that he just know about right there, but 800 to 900 a day being brought in by the administration. Line right up to what Dr. Nolan just presented to y'all.
Staggering amounts. Shout out to Christy Nome. I think she is going to be what cabinet position did she get, Doc? Christy Nome from South Dakota.
I believe she's over Homeland Security.
Homeland Security. So she finally gonna get what she need to get rid of the fentanyl, and because she has 11 tribes that she has to deal with, and they're on reservation land. So all they could do is usually just send helicopters. But now that she's federal, there's a lot of fentanyl and fancy shady goings-ons that won't be going down anymore. And that means a lot to me, considering I lost somebody to fentanyl. Yeah. So this is going to be interesting this next 4 years. And shout out to that border, that those holes getting sealed up. Be a good time for people to return home on their own before they get put back in the hole.
Absolutely, I agree.
Very interesting that Joe Biden met with the Chinese prime minister and did not mention illegal or unlawful, because I know some people don't like that word illegal. I'll be, you know what I'm saying, but not a mention of it in the official White House readout at all. I thought that was very telling at minimum.
Yeah, they're definitely illegal. And they're not checking in through immigration. They're coming by, holes in the gate.
I say it once and I say it again. I tell y'all, I can't go into Canada like that. I can't cross that way. And honestly, we honestly should be able to because of treaties, right? But, you know, we do stuff in decency and in order. And yeah, I've never gotten that kind of reception. Hey, I don't know how to schedule to get a ticket. The border agents, they usually just say, hey, life's hard. You got to get a helmet. Figure it out.
What grandma say, baby, the world is cold. Come put this sweater on. Better get you a
Yes,
warm sweater.
indeed.
Y'all got
I
anything
mean,
y'all
they
want to say
coming,
before y'all
but
close
we
out?
not gonna forget about the Chinese police stations they got over here illegally.
I would like to answer HGF
Oh
977's
Lord, yep.
question. The question is, or the statement is, Latino Hispanic community has been living with us for thousands of years. They have a right to America. The Asians came over thousands of years ago and lived amongst us. Don't they have a claim here too? Is your question? Well, where's the reciprocity in your logics, sir or ma'am? Wouldn't you have equal exchange to go right into China, into Japan without a passport? If those are your sisters and brothers, wouldn't there be a free exchange of movement? See how foolish that sounds? Do you think you can go right into North Korea right now and go and
No,
enjoy the sights?
absolutely not.
That's my question to you.
Shit, can I come over to your house and put my feet on your couch?
Do you have the freedom to do that? No passport? You can just go and walk right into China right now? You think you're going to be accepted being able to do that? Hell no. So yeah, you can type that logic into the chat if you want to, but you know for a fact that you can't go and do that. And if you can, why don't you go and do it? You can't come and use all the resources of what's already established here in America. You just heard them say on the video that it's the taxpayers that are financing that process that's taking place right now. That's taking away from people who are starving in that state. The resources can be used for the people who are already established here. That's the answer to your question.
And let me tell you, I've lived in California and I've never seen homelessness that looks like a third world country. Okay. It's starting to I've seen it starting to trickle down in Georgia. I definitely seen that. There's a lot of people living under the bridge and a bunch of tent cities being built up where the American people are being usurped for brand new folks that ain't got no skin in the game. Not only, and I mean that literally and figuratively too. Okay. No skin in the game, no tangible roots to this to the economy or anything like that. So yeah, no, they got to come do it the right way. And then they need to take a goddamn seat, right? Because at some point y'all got to know it's going to be the Indians' turn. I'm just trying to figure out how long do people, how long will they, be so inconsiderate of the foundational folks that was here? It's mind-boggling to me. Good thing we ain't waiting on nobody's approval to move forward with our shit. Yeah. Yeah, I say y'all can freestyle, popcorn, whatever. To turn
Yeah,
up.
and anybody's welcome to come in and join the conversation with any questions that you may have, or just to add to the positive energy. This is the session where y'all welcome to come through, ask any type of questions, and we're here for that also.
I just dropped the link.
Sunflower, grab that link, sugar for your birthday.
We also thank y'all for signing and sharing the petition. The numbers are growing, and we have some very big things that we're working on as far as the presentation in Washington, D.C. So be on the lookout for that. We'll also have an upcoming episode with the illustrious Chief Warhorse. So make sure y'all look out for that. We have Cousin Phoenix Moon and Chief Warhorse with the presentation coming up soon. And we certainly do thank y'all for the support of Urban Indian Heritage Society.
Yes, indeed. Come on up here, Sunflower. Anybody could come up, but we asking for the New Year lady to pull up.
I know, and Dr. Nolan and Phoenix Moon, I sent in our chat about the immigrant video. Did y'all see that when that was posted up on the Discord? That's some very important information too about the immigrants.
Drop it right here, cuz I'll play it.
Yeah, I gotta find a link for the back. I put it in. Dr. Nolan, can you put it in there? I sent it in our chat.
Yep, give me just a moment.
All right.
You dropped it in there, cuz?
I'm gonna post it up on the back chat shortly. Okay, it was just posted up by Dr. Nolan. He just did.
Oh, that's it. Oh, wait, Nolan, did you want to put that White House drop first?
No, you can go ahead. You can play the TikTok. I just referenced it.
All right, bet. Hold on.
Free. 2 years, 3 years. After 2 years, we have to pay the rent.
All right, y'all, this is Savannah Hernandez in Brunswick, Maine, reporting to you from the apartments where migrants are getting their rent paid for up to 2 years. Now, I wanted to give you guys a first inside look at these units. The migrants shared with us that they come furnished, so they have a flat screen TV in there, couches, tables and chairs, a bed. We also asked them as well, hey, are you paying utilities here? They shared with us that nope, they do not have a water bill, they do not have an electricity bill.
And what about the light and the water?
Everything is good. We don't pay anything.
Now, I wanted to focus in on this area of Maine because there is a housing crisis going on currently for residents, and these buildings were initially created for Maine residents, but then it was decided that homeless migrants would be living here. Now, as an American, you can rent out one of these units, but a 1-bedroom is going to run you about $1,800, and a 2-bedroom is going to run you about $2,300. By the way, the average housing price for a house over here in Brunswick is about $480,000. So there was obviously a lot of outrage when it was first discovered that migrants were going to be housed here for free on taxpayer dollar. Now, I wanted to focus in on Brunswick as well because this is the same county that has received FEMA funding from that same program that spent almost a
That's crazy. That's a lot of chicken. That's a nice spread.
Yeah.
I'm real man right now.
That's America.
So you can get that. That's $2,000 a month to stay there, but they get to stay for free. They don't got to pay no
I'm finna
utilities.
pretend not to speak English and go to Maine.
You know what I'm saying? So now y'all done got examples that's in California, and then y'all got examples all the way in Maine, from one coast to the other, and it's the taxpayers that's paying for it all.
Literally from California to the New York Islands.
Yeah, and none of them was Asian. So again, the person who put that illogical question in there, is that supposed to be fair too?
I know you see it, girl. This ain't sitting real good in my soul. Everywhere this little girl goes, she pick up another obstacle. She was my heart. I don't know the tribe or the fall, but by default, she don't think of me. I thought she was an Indian.
Navajo.
She be slanging things like a simian. All my life I wanted me an Indian. Now she's far away, but I had to know. Listen, I know you see it, girl. This ain't sitting real good in my soul. Everywhere this little girl goes, she pick up another obstacle. She was my heart. I don't know the tribe or the fall, but by default, she don't think of me. I thought she was an Indian, but she be slanging things like a simian. All my life I wanted me an Indian. Ooh, girl, let me in the street with a wedding ring, and she hit the bar, city babe. Are you down to cheat? He looked in the eye, chivalry. Is he really dead? He pulled out a tip. Jumping right on them, thinking was it good to intervene, and I lost her to the world and the girls and imposters. Entertained, I died of the pain and it cost her. I ain't mad at me, but it hurt, and I thought she wasn't in it. Now she only worried about the Benjamins. She been looking in my dreams. I swear that eyes on me. Not at all. I swear that eyes on me. I swear that eyes on me. I swear that eyes on me. I swear that eyes on me.
Thought she wasn't in yet. Happy New Year, baby.
That's the new jam.
Yeah, I like that.
Oh, look at our beauty.
Happy birthday.
Happy New Year. We love you.
Here, cousin. We love you. You look beautiful.
Thank you. Howdy.
Hey,
Howdy, Miss S.
I love it, beauty. I love it.
Hey, turn up one time. Turn up.
Yes. Turn up. Happy New Year's, engine.
Thank you. Got the fringes everywhere. Yes.
Looking
I ain't
good.
mad, baby. As you should.
Yes. And
Yes,
the purse.
you
Yeah,
should.
we wasn't playing.
She got the purse too.
Okay.
And the boots.
Okay.
And the boots. We wasn't
Hey.
playing. Yes.
Got to be rocking some moccasins.
Yes.
I already know.
Yes. Oh, well, let me just step out the car real quick. Let me just step out the car. I'm showing out today. Let me just step out the car.
That's right. Hit him with the two-step. That's
What
right.
we doing here? What we doing? Okay, I'm gonna just put the foot like that. Can you see the feet?
Oh yes.
Oh, I love
Absolutely.
them. I absolutely do.
I don't know how to turn the camera around, but y'all seen the feet. Oh Lord, love y'all to life. I'm gonna get myself in this house, but this has been a great show. Just turn up one time. I appreciate y'all. Yes. I wouldn't have been able to look like this without y'all. I probably would have just had on some red and all my jewels and stuff. But yes, everybody was like, represent for the culture. Yes. So love y'all.
For the culture, baby. You
For
know
the
it.
culture.
Love you too.
Absolutely.
What's up, Miss Evans?
Hello,
Halito family, how y'all doing tonight? This is
Halito, Miss Evans. Oh, love her so much.
Come on, Gapo.
Come on, Gapo,
Come on,
cousin.
Capo.
Man, y'all have been spinning the block. Y'all done smoked up the block. Like, we done way more than spun the block. We done hit 4 lefts. We back round to the truth. These niggas don't know what to do with it. It's an amazing day in Indian country. Thank you so much for this build.
Miss
Yes.
Evans told me
You
in
already
March,
know.
I want y'all to know, cousin told me in March, and she said, hold on to your hat, because it's about to be a roller coaster, okay? Because this election going to get crazy. These people going to get crazy. And she gave me a date, and that date would have been this past Friday. And I ain't holding my hat another second, baby. It's been a roller coaster. From the election on down, you have not missed the mark, baby. All of it, the eclipse, the different sky activity. You was on all of this, and listen here, gave a time frame, okay, and it came to pass. Let me just give her flowers real quick.
It's the company I keep. We've been low to the ground for a long time, and
You went out, Bull. You went out. Your sound.
I said I blame it on the company I keep. We stay low to the ground, and we have been watching very
Your
close.
sound went out. Can y'all hear her?
Can y'all hear me? Okay.
There you go.
Now
There you
I
go.
Can
can
hear
It was
you
very
now.
muffled, but
There
it's
you
clear
go.
now.
Thank you. I'm so sorry. I said we stay low to the ground over here. I blame the company I keep. We've been watching for a few years now, and as you can see, how the documents are even changing before our eyes. We've been watching these changes, and you can almost predict the weather at this point. The way these people is moving, it ain't over either. We at the top of the roller coaster. We still got to make our way down.
Lord, this gonna be a scary ride.
We here for it. We here
We
for
already
it.
know which way the ride gonna go. It's all them
Uh-huh.
other folks that should be scared.
This is
That's
what
right.
it is. You only have to be worried when you're not on your homeland. Okay? When you at home, what's the name of that show, Behind Enemy Lines? When you are not on your own territory, things are much rougher. And so thank you to our ancestors that we have the ability to be where we are, strong-footed, 10 toes down. And yes, we know exactly how this ride gonna go. We strapped in and we ready. We'll see how everyone else turns out. But that's why I really truly think you guys have to thank Brother Ish and Dr. Nolan and Sister Phoenix for providing this information. People aren't reading, they're not taking the time to research. And when you have people that have spent years, and I mean decades, of thousands of hours of their life.
I think you went out again.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
so
the audio went.
sorry.
Mhm.
You just have to appreciate the opportunity to, get this knowledge. So thank y'all so much for this space and the opportunity to soak this information. You cannot make this stuff up. Like these languages and how they, like, it's always been suspicious. We know that everything, and you can't question it. You've never been able to question it. You couldn't talk about it. You can't dress up on Halloween or nothing else.
I'm
Right
trying to
now,
tell you.
all of a sudden, right now we find out why.
Oh, and while I'm at it, hold on. Let me before we close out on the Navajo. Let's go back to their primary language group, right? They call them Athabascans. Athabascans. Right? That was it, right? Hold on. Okay. Southern Athabascan group language, right? That's what they have. Southern Athabascan. So let's deal with the words Athabascan. Let's go to the etymology. Let's go. Oh, they have Athabascan. Also, Athabascan, 1844 as a language name from the name of the widespread family of northern Indian languages from Lake Athabasca in northern Alberta, Canada, from Woods, Cree, Algonquin, Athabasca, literally, where there are 4 plants, one after another. Bright, referring to the Delta region west of the lake. The languages spoken across the wide area of Alaska and subarctic Canada and include Apachean, including Navajo in the U.S. Southwest. Okay. Let's see. Let's go to the root. Give me 1 second. To come. And where y'all think Batha is the N word is going to lead us to, right? Okay.
We with you, cousin.
Old English, immersing body in water. Old Saxon, bath. Middle Dutch, Nord. German, bad. Root, be, to warm. Thus, Germanic suffix indicating act, process, condition, as in birth, death. The etymological sense of heating, not immersing. Okay. And they use scan, right? Bascan. Go to Basque. And you know where Basque is, right? Basque goes back to who? Where they number 0 came from.
Yep.
To wallow, basking, to wallow in warm water or blood. Oh. The unknown etymology, the Middle English compendium rejects the derivation of Old Norse bavas, to bathe oneself, with loss of middle syllable, flexible, bava, bath, sea bath, Proto-Germanic, sick, oneself. The meaning, soak up a flood of warmth. Who's that? Somebody just pulled up. Good brother. Check engine. Check engine. What up, bro?
OCO.
OCO, family.
OCO, cousin.
OCO.
What's happening? Doing the check engine light right now, cuz.
OCO, what up, what up? Happy birthday.
OCO, Wado.
Spirit, so much love for you.
Go ahead, keep knocking them out.
I was told today that we gotta find the other Black Americans who have immigrant ancestry.
Find them and do what with them?
And then what?
Yeah.
And then what?
And why we
I'm
gotta do
saying
that during
so
American Indian History Month?
he said they had to prove it. You know, prove it and connect to him. I don't know, I don't know how he didn't understand that there were so-called people today, so-called Black Americans, who have immigrant backgrounds. You could start with the ones of African descent, but he didn't want to hear that, because somehow, 1850 made them magical Negroes.
Well, that's the consequences of misclassification. And that's, what Urban Indian Heritage Society talks about very frequently. A lot of people that came, and no one came, like this self-identification period that we're living in right now, of like tomorrow you can wake up and be something else, has, I believe, traumatized people into believing that this is a always happenstance, especially prior to the internet, prior to national news media, right? If you were in an area and that's where those people were, you were called what they called you, especially 20 to 30 years later when people are looking back on history. We're in a special time that we have the ability to correct a lot of these things for not only just us, but our families. So the fact that these people aren't looking at who these people are versus just where they came from lets you know that the DNA thing it's been effective. It worked on them, right? They're looking for a landmass from a swab of spit, and that science is just not available.
Well, now we know they came to take a bath.
No, I'm just trolling. Let's get to it though, because now we could start at the root again. We could use it as a surname. Anglo-Saxon, not Anglo. It says Anglo-Saxon. Interesting. Dweller at the enclosure. And then the basking brings them right to the fucking Turks. Right? Right back around that Mediterranean on the European side, though. And they got Yoruba words, Slovakian words, Slav words. They up by Slave Lake, right? The slave tribe, that includes them too, Slavics, right? Y'all know who the slave tribe is, right? And where they at up in Canada, near the Arctic Circle. It just told you. The Slavies. Slavies. Cree, exonym, slave. Slavies. Up by Slave Lake. Hold on. Y'all never seen Slave Lake? Hold on. Great Slave Lake, Alberta, Canada.
Yep, Northwest Territories.
Yep.
That's right up there near the Yukon and Alaska.
Yeah. So there's that. The Slavs, the slaves. Be happy with the English that you speak, because somebody could be running around using some shit that was made up that's not even older than your grandmother. Talking about this some ancient shit. Somebody's ancient shit. It ain't yours, and it ain't theirs neither, apparently. They got to write you a language. You didn't have no way to phonetically get your shit across. Weird. But anywho, y'all got anything I want to say before we close out?
No, it was an outstanding session again today, just bringing the information. Definitely, put a close to those statements. You don't even speak your own language. Hey, you don't put together that whole piece together, jigsaw puzzle, half Congo, half Siberian bullshit y'all mumbling about. It's funny. It was a real good session. Thank y'all. Love y'all.
And thank you for the anthropology and the archaeology. That was just, yes. The artifacts, all of that. Always science. I love it. Absolutely love it. And of course the receipts. Yes, indeed. It's always a beautiful day in Indian country. And we're going to say our goodbyes and close out and let these good folks get out there feeling good. Now you know how to handle your trolls, especially the ones asking you where your language at, and the ones that can't answer what kind of black they are, what kind of Negro they got. They don't really want to talk about the Indian. And they ain't going to tell you what kind of Indian they got with them either. So, such is life, right? Anywho, it's always up to us. If not us, then who? And if not now, then when? Y'all take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. We'll be back soon. Chapisa chike.
Chapisa chike.
Chapisa chike, nana.
Chapisa chike.
Peace.
Happy birthday and happy American Indian Heritage Month. Go get them, y'all.
Yes, sir.